I hope all of you will enjoy and can learn something from today's webinar. It's a little bit more than mobility. It's not just mobility. We're going to talk about it later today. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone, it's Gaby. Welcome to today's webinar. Today we're going to be talking about the secret of getting to 100 lifting potential or training potential and zero pain. We all want to train without the bother of the pain of your knee pain or lower back pain, right? I believe all of you have finished the 5 days Ass to Grass challenge. I wondered how it's going. Can you all squat deeper? Can you all squat Ass to Grass now? If you can actually raise up your hand or you can type in the chat box.
Yes.
Okay, so can you hear me? Okay. How's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
First day one, the other one, second and third and fourth and fifth day one was good for my mobility, but actually the first day one was very, very good for my weightlifting performance.
Wow, that's a surprise. I thought you were going to say that day one, I don't get it.
No, day one was actually very, very good. So I should have not done it, but even the second and third and fourth and fifth day, I added the first one because I could lift really, really well because I guess my core was really tight to begin with. So that was my favorite.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, the breathing, the respiration system, actually, I believe is the basic of the basic. Why? Because if we lose other functions like your kidney, like your liver, you can live a little bit longer, like a couple of months or a couple of years. But without breathing, how long you can live? I believe only a couple of minutes. So personally, I believe the respiration system is the number one priority for all of us to learn, to train, yet has been neglected so much. So actually, I let my offline client to do the same training with you as well. She is training in a CrossFit box. So this is Liz, and this is her front squat before. A little bit too fast. Let's stop at the bottom. So a little bit stiff at the bottom, lack of hip flexion, too much pressure for her knees and lower back. So she's treating her body as a leverage, not very smooth. You can clearly feel the pressure on her lower back and the knees. And let's see the after one. Although it's not heavy, but you can feel the joints actually moving smoothly. That's number one. They're not like this one. It's kind of blocking. Just especially at the bottom of the squat, it's kind of blocking feeling. But this one is, we're not talking about, we can clearly see she can squat deeper. This is kind of stuck in somewhere, especially at the bottom. But this one, you find no stuck at any point. It just things goes on smoothly. Okay. So if you finish my 5 days challenge, you are not only understand. So if you finish my 5 days challenge, how you can jump out from the old cycle, training, injury, rest, and the train and the injury and rest cycle, and start to reach into your training potential without bothering of pain. So actually, we collect the numbers of our online, offline clients, and we are proud that we already have 1,332 clients who actually getting up the pain and training happily. Okay, at the beginning of this webinar, I want to clarify that who can be benefit from this webinar. This webinar is for those who trained for years. You're already an experienced lifter. You are already an experienced gym goer, would love to see your progress in training, yet you are not making any progress and suffering from pain. And this webinar is not for those knowing exactly what you need to do. You are training without pain, you are happy, you are making sustainable progress. This is not the one for you. You just keep on training and making progress. Congratulations. And this webinar is not for those who have severe injuries. You are clearly told by your doctor, stop training. You are Okay, you have ligament tearing, stop training. Listen to your doctor. Don't come to me. Okay, this webinar is not for you. And also, this webinar is not for those who are satisfied with their status quo. If you are happy with what you are now, then this webinar is not for you. Actually, I want to promise from you now. So when you stay with me to the end of this webinar, if you find everything works perfectly, everything makes sense, sounds good, I'll give you a special offer. This offer includes everything you'll need for making continuous progress, making new PRs within 3 months, and a brand new body with 0 pain. Okay. First of all, I want you to close your eyes, actually, to imagine that one day you step into the gym, like with full confidence, and step onto the platform with a big-hearted smile. You know exactly what you're doing. You know you're going to finish your program and you're going to make progress. And without the worrying of knowing pain, you just like enjoy the training. I want you to imagine that, what a happy picture that would be. Because only if you want that body, if you want that painless body, if you want to make that progress, you can achieve it. If you don't let your mind work first, there is no way you can achieve this. So the first thing I would like to imagine that picture, that you are training happily, making progress without the worrying of the annoying pain. Okay, so today I'm going to show you that without stretching or foam rolling or endless like physio style work or endless training, you can get not only great mobility, much more than mobility, and continuous progress in training. This is the sports and all exercise I've been tried. I tried Pilates for like 2 years. I have my PTs. I've tried yoga. I've tried functional training. I hired the best functional training PT, personal trainer in China, the very top one, and also the top physiotherapists in China. They are just on the top of the pyramid. I must say, every single sport or every single exercise is good, but they didn't solve my problem. I believe you all know that I got my knees injured 5 years ago, and I'll talk about that later. Okay, none of this solved my problem. They are good exercise, but they could not fix my problem. I'm not saying they're bad, okay? Yet it was until I got injured and gradually I worked out a brand new training method, body alignment training. This training method will treat your body as a dynamic structure, as a one unit, which can really solve the problem. I'd like to share with you my story about how I spent more than 30K US dollars, yet earned a broken body. It was 10 years ago. I was 26 and I just started weightlifting. I soon fell in love with the sport, and I decided my goal was to become a super lifter, lifting super heavy weight so I can show off to my peers because I was young, and hopefully become a new lifting star. This is my best rank in CrossFit training. Of course, I trained the CrossFit at that time. At that time, I decided to find the most professional coaches to follow to train alongside. Since there was no weightlifting club in China, I spent a fortune finding opportunities to train with the best. Just as I wished, after spending a lot of money in places you can never imagine and the coaching fee, I managed to train with some top-level retired national champions and even world champions. I trained with the pros and luckily had the chance to be able to train along with the national team. Later, I should show you I've trained along with Liu Xiaojun and the top Chinese athlete. I had the clear goals of seeing my improvement. I want to see my lifting numbers growing fast. I did become a girl who can squat from like 30 kg to 100 kg in only 2 years. And I snatched from a barbell to 70. So it all just within 2 years, it all seems to be going on well. And it looked like I would have an extraordinary lifting career, although amateur, but still like quite good among my peers, right? But it was not actually what happened. See, that's what me like training in the Chinese national team. So in the 3rd year, I had already had my Venus weightlifting club and I hired a former actually world champion as a coach and I trained with him almost every single day I had the time. I was completely determined and fully focused. My whole life became working and lifting. I only cared about lifting. I followed the very strict programs under the coach requirements, and I trained very hard, trust me. At the same time, the pain came out. I talked to my coach. He worried about me, but he said I did all the right movements. He had no idea what was happening at all. Yet he still paid more attention to the details of the coaching and training, right? But the situation was getting worse and worse. It became a nightmare. The more I trained, the more pain I felt with my left knee. So once I rested, the pain went away a bit. But if I train, the pain will return. So the pain gradually became a haunting ghost. Of course, I could not focus on my training. I felt nervous and not being able to concentrate. When I trained until one day when I tried to reach a new PR in speed, that was 85, I felt a cracking on the left side of my left knee. Later that day, I felt okay. But the very second morning, the entire of my left leg inflated like a balloon, and I could barely walk. But I had a dog, so I had to walk. It was extremely painful. So every step I walked, I felt like I was walking on knives, and I could feel the swelling of the whole leg and the sting of the knee. I thought I could understand the Little Mermaid wanting new legs. It was at least 2 weeks before the swelling reduced, and the MRI scan showed that I had a ligament and a meniscus tearing. I got it translated. Just like every kind of tearing is happening with my left knee. It was kind of fucked up. I could not train for quite a long time. The pain actually haunted me for the following 2 years. I did slowly get better. I could lift in above the knee, like handpower snatch or handpower clean, but I could not squat down, since anytime I do a full squat, my left knee hurts. So I was desperately seeking help. I got ointment from my coach and went to many physiotherapists. And I followed the instructions of working on ankle mobility, calf stretching, hip abduction exercise, hip adduction exercise. It was a lot of work. I followed them strictly, and the exercise did help me a bit. So I started training again very carefully until one day I front squatted with heavy weight. There was one moment I hear my left knee crack again. I know I was fucked up again. One more time, I got my knee swelling up like a balloon, but even worse. I was thinking maybe that is it. Maybe I don't belong in the weightlifting world. So what the point that me owning a weightlifting club? I was coaching, yet I cannot squat myself. It was making no sense at all. So it was until one day, I met this man. His name is Fu Hao. Let's call him Dr. Fu. So one of my friends suggested that I should go to him, and I did. He asked me to stand feet together, and just like that, he told me he knew what was what was wrong with me, and he taught me one very simple exercise, just like squatting down. It was like squatting down. I'm going to teach you later, okay? That he told me to do a very simple exercise that I only need to do 8 reps a day without any equipment, without stretching, foam rolling. I was confused. I didn't buy it. I was like, just simply won't be working. Yet I still followed the instruction since I had no other choice. Yet that's the magic happening. Just 1 week, I could tell the pain was reducing. You need to realize the pain haunted me for 2 years. That's a very long time. And 2 weeks later, I felt much better in training. And 1 month later, you know what? I could squat without pain. I was shocked as you as well. It's impossible. I went to all the hospitals, physiotherapists. I went to yoga, like Pilates. None of them cured me. Just how is this possible? And then, of course, because I love learning, I went to him again and asked him, can I learn from him? Unfortunately, he accepted me as an apprentice. I know he looked very young, right? But he solved all of my problem, and a whole new world actually opened to me. So I was studying with a master physician in the clinic for 2 days a week. And I seen with my own eyes that so many people actually came in pain, yet worked out with the body feeling much better, and sometimes a short face as well, just like me. It was really magic. What I've learned from him is your body is actually one unit. The pain is 99% the appearance, and it was never the reason. You need to see through the pain, see through the appearance. especially when you are an athlete. And you need to be very careful with injury or pain, because that's the signal of your body telling you something went wrong. You have to listen. You have to look into your body and find the problem, solve it. Otherwise, everything just simply turns worse. It's later I realized I've been brainwashed for so many years that if I want to perform a sport well, I need to train more for better training. But just like a derailed train, right? No matter how strong the engine is, the train cannot reach the destination. The premise of being an athlete competing is to have a physically aligned and fully functioning body first. And then we practice mobility, and then we practice strength and power. A compensated body only moves in a compensated way. With the time of training accumulated, the pain and injury, I believe, just predestined, right? People only think it's a doctor or physiotherapist well to help you to correct when you are already broken, just like me before. But only when your body is well aligned and fully functioning, you can go a long way in training. You have ligament, you have like soft tissues, ligament, tendons, and it all takes you 3 to 5 years to see the chronic pain. Not at the beginning. They all have their lifetime they all have their like thickness. It takes time. And if you're not a professional athlete, you can ask yourself, what on earth do you want? You'd like to still be able to train after 10 or 20 years, have a sustainable pain-free training, or you can just like use them for that 3 to 5 years length, like through the compensation, and one day you're gonna injure and never be able to train again. So here is your own choice. That's how I found my body alignment training later. And I would love to devote my life not to the professional athlete because they don't need me. They have all the attention. I've searched all the academic papers. I think 95% of the sports academic papers are all about professional athlete. They're rarely like papers about ordinary people. So I don't think they need me. My goal is to help those people who injured like me before, who train simply because they love training. I lift because I love lifting. The pro lifters already got the majority of the attention, but I would love to help those who suffered injury, and I would love them to go further to enjoy the training without pain. My club has already existed for like 8 years, and I have been coaching for almost 8 years. So I believe, and I injured 5 years ago. So I believe after 7 years of studying and coaching, I have somehow managed to learn how to make my training sustainable without training. And today I'm going to share with you 3 secrets of mine of getting to train to your 100 potential and 0 pain. There are 3 secrets of mine. The first one, I'm going to lead you through all of these 3 secrets, okay? You can check on that. We'll get back to every single time. Let's come to the first secret. The bottom of the iceberg. And that's actually what's much bigger hiding beneath the water. This is the optimum performance training model. This is a widely adapted training method for personal trainers and also me before as well. This is designed by Dr. Michael A. Clark. It is quite nice and can function as a guideline to strengthen your performance. The concepts embodied by the OPT, Optimum Performance Training model, are also applicable to pro athlete fighting for a spot on the podium. However, it will not help address misalignments of the body. So you may end up building a strength in the performance based on layers and layers of compensation. Even if you attain a very strong body based on this model, you can still be at high risk for injury. So in my opinion, there are missing parts beneath the water, which help in building a strong and healthy foundation for what's above the water. So I put the OPT model above the water and as the top of the iceberg. See, but what's beneath the water is really matters. This is my body alignment training module. So there are some missing parts, which are body alignment, for control over forward motion, and also elasticity. I'll explaining to you just one by one. First of all, I want to say I'm quite bendy genetically, I guess. I probably need to send to my parents. I can always do a split. I can raise up my feet to on the top of my head. But I cannot do a squat with my knees trapped to my toes. I always got that collapsed knees at the bottom. I thought doing a beautiful squat is quite easy for me because I've got the flexibility, yet that's not the case. This is a comparison between a rotated body, misaligned body, and a aligned body. Actually, the left side is me exactly. My left pelvis rotates forward and my left femur rotates inwardly, just like in this picture. And that's why actually I was not being able to support the weight with my left knee in the stretcher. My left knee is my back, my left leg is my back leg. So I'm supporting the weight, not through the structure, but with my left knee. That's how I get injured. They simply collapsed in the supporting position. So the first thing is missing is the aligned body. And secondly, what missing is the full control over full range of motion. I told you I was quite bendy. I could squat as to grass a long time ago. And this is a demonstration of my colleague Ivan. Like he could squat very low in a overhead squat, right? But you can clearly see that his knees collapsed. His feet pronated with flat feet. It was okay, actually, if you are just like squatting on your own without bearing up any weight. That's kind of a natural state of a relaxed body. Yet, if you squat or lift a heavy weight, your ligament, your soft tissues, like your tendons, will never ever bear this much weight, and they're rotated, being stretched. At one moment, it is like rotated like enough. If that weight is heavy enough, your tendon will just be tearing apart. And so that's the second thing. And the last thing missing, I believe, is the elastic energy. This is image of Panda Paul. This is Tian Tao, if you know who is him. He's a world champion as well. See how high Tian Tao's elbows are, right? Can you do this on your own? Like how much high? It's impossible to raise up your elbow like that yourself. You can try. You can never ever raise up your elbow in that way. But how can he raise up his elbow with that much weight in that moment? Is because what we called elasticity. And elasticity is not the simple term you can explain with biomechanics. All the biomechanics, if you are the baseball, if you ever watch the baseball, if you see the slow motion of the thrower, I'm not familiar with the baseball. If you ever had the chance to see the slow-mo of a thrower, nothing to do with biomechanics. Biomechanics only works with slow motion, like controlled. It works like leverage, but your body will never ever perform in that way in high-speed training, in power training. So this Panda Pool is a perfect demonstration of elastic energy, which is the ability of your tissues to absorb, store, and release the energy. That's how the Olympic lifters can get so much weight in the overhead position. It's nothing about strength. It's all about elastic energy. So it's not commonly seen in commercial gyms, but it is a great way to train your elastic energy. Since there are two major benefits of developing them. The first one, elastic energy creates faster. They're going to store the energy, right? They're going to create faster and strong tension for the movements. They're going to release energy, and if you squat, you're going to stand up simply faster and more powerful, and then you can lift heavier. And second, elastic strength keeps your connective tissue like young, keep them resilient, like bouncy. So when you get old, you won't be like stiff as a rock. If you fall, you won't be hurt your like hips or knees, and then the tendons or ligaments simply just break because they are way too much like plastic rather than a plastic band. Only the elastic energy gonna help you to maintain the elasticity of your ligaments and tendons. That's it. And when you face the force of impact from weight, from speed, from falling down, the ligament and tendons, the elasticity of the ligament and tendons will protect you. Yet, if as an adult, it's hard to gain elastic energy just from training squat, even training through snatch or clean and jerk, because the movement pattern has already been set up. So we had to add a specific elastic exercise into your training, just what we did in day 5. you have to train them to get the elasticity. And elasticity is another saying of the use of your muscles or tissues. You always see like baby bounce, work like wobbling, it's very cute. But if we are getting old, we all just work like stiff. So maintain the elasticity of your body is a symbol of use of the muscle groups. So this is the whole picture, in my opinion, which will really help you reach your maximum potential and stay away from injury or pain. Okay, so let's have a look of Xiao Li's case.
My client Xiao Li is a CrossFit athlete. He came to me and said that he has been through a plateau for more than a year, and he wondered if he can ever reach the new PR again. So I asked him to do a few reps of anti-barbell clean to try to identify the problem. Very soon, I found out that he spread out his feet flat. There was no real extension of his ankle joints. Actually, there is a Chinese saying, strength starts from the feet. We all know that the triple extensions of the lower body are the extensions of the hips, knees, and ankles. The major power comes from the hips, and the ankle joints mainly responsible for releasing the elastic energy. So the stability and the strength of the ankle joints is Xiao Li's weakness, and I try to fix that. First of all, I activate the ankle joints with a balance cushion and on a step, including increasing the range of motion and also improving the dynamic balance. Then I train his ability of the shin bone sliding on the hips to fully open its range of motion of the ankle joints, and then transfer what he has gained into the lower body extension. If you're interested in training ankle with me, don't forget about click the link in bio. So
Okay.
I tried on regaining the strength and stability of his ankles without coaching him any new training techniques yet. He PR'd from 90 kg to 100 in just a few attempts. So what I would like to say here is, in fact, you are all very smart, and the skills of weightlifting are not that difficult. Yet the weakness of the body will limit your progress in training and probably restrain you from your new PRs. So find out the weakness of your body, fix them, and let your body be able to make the right movement. Might be more meaningful to adapt to learn in general training. Venus weightlifting, Chinese weightlifting. This is Gaby. See ya.
So he came to our gym, my club, is because he was like depressed that he hasn't been reaching any PR for more than 1 year. He was a CrossFitter. I didn't coach him any weightlifting skills on that session. I only trained his ankle strength, right? Train his like ankle alignment and ankle control over the ankles, like full control over forward motion and probably a little bit hop jump. So that's elasticity. Without coaching him any skills, he PR'd for 5 kg. And the next week he came back to me, I coached him some skills and he kind of PR'd another 5 kg. So I believe just it's all about find the right problem. If you can find the root of the problem, you can solve the problem. If you just keep on practicing the old skills, you're not reaching to the root of the problem. You're going to be stuck somewhere. Here I want to say, today's webinar is for those who has been training for quite a long time, but suffering from discomfort, pain, or been through plateau. This webinar is for you. Okay, this is my body alignment training module. You need to have a aligned body first. Okay, if you are like rotated or twisted body like me, you train and then you gain compensation. And you train more, you gain more layers of compensation. How can you reach to the strength, stability, and power? No way. And then if you are too loose, it's not okay. And then you need to develop like full control over forward motion. We all know that they are kinds of passive range of motion. Someone can help you raise up your leg very high. And they are kind of like active range of motion. You can actively squat down like ass to grass, but that's not enough. You need to squat down to the bottom with fully activated glutes and the legs with a solid core, yet still very mobile, like T-spines. That's the best scenario, and that's what we are striving for. And when you want to get to power, power is a symbol of athleticism. You see the basketball, the American football, soccer, no matter what, the best athlete, the power is a symbol of best athlete. Yet, as an ordinary people, as an adult, we need to gain the power, not just by power training. We need to learn to bang, 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 bang. Let your body, let the tissue to regain the elasticity first, and then you can gain the power. So let's get back to the OPT model. Although this is good, but I don't think it works for me. I don't believe it's the best thing. I believe there are some missing parts. This is the full picture of it. And let's get to the second secret of 100 potential and 0 pain, which is your misalignment is actually reversible. This is actually the process. You can check it out. I attached at the end of my ebook. How many of you have checked my ebooks? The Big Secret of Chinese Weightlifting. You've seen I 静快稳准狠, the close, the fast, 稳, the stable, 准, the accurate, 狠, the aggressiveness. They are all adjectives. None of them revealing the truth, the reason why they can do it so. They can do it so greatly. You need to peel it like peeling the onions to find what's really in the middle. I believe all the misalignment is reversible as long as you are going through the right procedure and doing the right thing, right? You observe the appearance, identify the problem, and you make personalized. We all have our strengths and we all have weakness. We all know the bucket effect, right? The water will always flow out from the shortest, the whatever, the block of the bucket. You not only to, I'm very good at squatting. I'm so powerful. I can squat 100, 200 kg and then squat every day. That's not going to help if you not solving the shortest, like the block of the bucket. You still, just fuck out in the training. It's never be working. You get pain. You get injured. You cannot train. Then how can you get progress? And then you need to find the program that personalized for you. Everyone's program is different. If you are weak with control, you need to train the control. If you are weak with elasticity, if you are weak with elasticity, you need to train elasticity. That's it. And then we slowly build up what we call the cycle, the volumes, the programs, and then you can reach to your new potential and new PRs, right? So today I want to share you with the story of a broken toe. This is one of my clients, and although the left one has already been very good, this is a very sad story. He practiced the handstand and he failed. He kind of like cracked his fourth toe with his left foot, the broken left foot. He went to the hospital. The doctor said, "Do you feel pain?" "No." "Can you still walk?" "Yes." Go, leave. That's Chinese doctor. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what actually happened to him. And when I found this problem with him in that PT session, he told me, "It's already 7 months now." I was like, 7 months? That's a long time. Why you didn't tell me on the first slide? And he told me, the doctor said, if I'm working without pain, that would be okay. That's not the case. That's what I want to tell you today. He came to me not because his toe issue. His toes felt no pain. He walked without pain with his toes. He came to me not because his toe pain, it was because his shoulder pain. See, he has got an uneven shoulder. He told me, "Oh, I feel terrible with my right shoulder. I'm so terrible with my right shoulder, so pain." After I checked with his body, I just looked everywhere. I looked everywhere. It was till the moment he took his socks off, I found the broken toe. Let's see the squatting of his right. Here is rotating. It's not very obvious, but let's see. It's turning inwardly. The whole shape is turning inwardly. It's not standing on where it is. And that's me find the problem. What's happened to him is he got his fourth toe broken and he lost right side, and the other side merely compensating for this right foot arch. His shoulder was never the root. His left shoulder was never the root. His shoulder working hard for not being able to support and standing up with his right foot. Through the right training, we can see that before and after he got his shoulder even through the ankle training. I didn't even touch his shoulder. So identify the root of the problem is really important. Otherwise, if I only massage his his left shoulder is higher. If I only massage his left shoulder, he might be feeling good for 3 days. And then when the soft muscle when the massage muscle merged back into the toe structure, it simply feels worse. This is not the right quote, so you can never ever really solve the problem. Only if I help him to rebuild the foot arch, he can stand up, and then he can have the even shoulder, right? So see, this is the secret of getting the alignment. Every misalignment is reversible as long as you're following the right procedure. Not if you feel the pain and you just like, oh, I'm pain here, I'm gonna massage here. That's never gonna be working. Okay, and let's go to the third secret of your 100 potential and 0 pain. This is the steps, but I still gonna share with my story first. I have my left chest pain for a very long time since I was studying. That was more than 10 years. I know I had a pain everywhere. Sometimes I sincerely believe that I'm the worst case. I'm simply the worst. I've got pain everywhere with my shoulder, chest, with my left knee. So yeah, if I can become better, I'm training pain freely now. Everyone can. I had pain everywhere. I bought myself a Theragun, you know, that I used the elastic band. They all worked. They all worked for 5 minutes or 1 hour or 1 day. And I went to the sports massage quite often, and it worked for 3 days, just like that, without surprise, right? So none of them worked for a long time. They are just all temporarily for a couple of days, and the pain, of course, can come back for me. So I was a little bit annoyed by this until I read the Thomas Meyer. You all know who is Thomas Meyer, right? The author of Anatomy Train. I realized the body is a conservative structure, just like that. This is the pelvis, this is the spine, this is the leg, and this is full body module. Okay, just like making beds. So that was on my own theory. I believe no one ever mentioned this before. Okay, just like making beds. If you want to make a bed, you are only focused on the four corner of that duet. No one. We are gonna choose flat, the middle part, right? Okay, so no matter you're making sheet or the duet, you are focused on corners, not somewhere in the middle. It's the same for your body. So I was trying to figure out that, like, if I pull my fingertips, I stretch my own fingertips because the square is too short, away like I was stretching a sheet or duet, will it be possible that I can solve my problem? Since I still have my Chinese physician, we were working on this for a long time. We just like, actually, I've been posted through my the Instagram post, just stretching externally. I'll step back. The internal rotation and the external rotation, remember this thing? I let my whole upper arm external rotate to the limit, and I only feel the stretch of my fingertips lightly. Everything, the root of your arms, you can try that yourself. The root of your arms is never your forearms. That was the bottom of the triangle of your scapula. This is the arm line, according to Thomas Meyer theory. Your two arms, your two hands, merely two ends of one string, one cable. You cannot see your two arms as two separate parts. They are just two ends of one line. That's the line. So if you stretch through the right way, stretch them evenly, you'll get your shoulder. You'll get everything, the muscle, the tendons, everything back in order. And that's how I solved my left chest pain. That's it. And we also have other kinds of stretching for your feet. We have 5 extremities, right? Let's get back to this. We have our arms. That's not arms, is not extremities. Your fingertips are, and there are also extremities with your toes. The muscles of your calf never starts from the calf. Your legs muscle never start from your legs. It all starts from the toes. If you can check the ligaments, check the muscles, they all start from here, from your toes, from your fingertips. So if you stretch the extremities, including your head, to the right way, I call it spatial reallocation. Just put them in the right space in a 3D dimension. If we are seriously a complete one unit, just like that, we are a structure ourselves, then how can we not get back to order? That's how I create all the movement, and that's how I train now. So I'd like to share with you some real feedback, and I believe some of them is here. Thank you for them. Sometimes because we already have like trial sessions, so this is feedback of our real customers, and thank you for them. So the third secret of gaining aligned body, of getting to your full potential, is knowing that you are complete structure. Okay, you are making the same thing, and then you're gonna do the training of reallocation of the extremities. See, if I start here, and if you are doing the training, right training, maybe it's not quite like that. I believe 1 week is enough to feel the difference. And 2 weeks or like 1 month, you can feel the already like major difference. These are the 3 secrets of mine of reaching 100 potential with your training, with your lifting, yet without pain. The first one is the Gaby's body alignment training. You need to have body alignment first, and then full control of range of motion. And second one is misalignment is reversible, but you need to spot on the problem. And the third one is you are complete yourself. We all know there are lots of equipment in the market, and I believe that's kind of a trap of consumerism. I'm not sure if I'm making it right. You are complete yourself. You don't need that much tools. Sometimes you need a band, sometimes you need a pillow to help you to find the feeling, and that's it. You don't need fancy tools like Theraguns to help you regain. I don't buy that kind of shit. I'm sorry. I seriously believe that's like the capitalism of like the consumerist trap. That's all trap. So here I want to ask a question to you. So if I told you that you can PR, getting your new PR in 3 months, if you follow my program, you can get a new PR in 3 months and see a huge transition with a year. Would you believe in me? Okay, just let me know. Okay, so here's my offer. I'm gonna offer you my platinum membership. Actually, if you invest in yourself today, this is what you're gonna have. We're gonna assess your body here, and on the top of the steps is the body alignment training. On the bottom of the steps, they are weightlifting. Every 3 months, we're gonna have one-on-one session, and we're gonna help you to step onto the next step every 3 months until 1 year later, you're gonna be probably the best condition. We're gonna help you to regain the body alignment for the 3 months, first 3 months. And then the second 3 months, we're gonna focus on full control of the range of motion. And the following 3 months, focus on the elastic energy. And the last 3 months, focus on full body development. And for the training, it depends on what you would like to train, or lean, lifts, or just strength focus. We're gonna spot your weakness first. And we're gonna help you to personalize your program, telling you what to train. You don't need to worry about that. You're just making progress. And then we're gonna give you cycles. We're gonna give you the volume and the program, and then you will reach to your maximum potential. This is, okay, Omar is actually here today. Can I play it? This is him handing over his first assessment. 1 month, 6 months ago? I'm not sure that. 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Okay, 3 weeks, only for 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks later. Okay. It's like shorter now. You can tell the movement become much smoother and much more clear because you can relax the energy. Omar, are you here? I believe Omar's here. Okay, this is Omar. Okay, later I'll talk to you. Okay, thank you for letting me share your video. Thank you very much. This is the total breath content. This is a service you'll get with our platinum membership. Everything I do, I really hope to help you to get your PR, help you to get progressed after a long-time plateau. And I want to reduce your chronic pain. I want to reduce your knee pain, your lower back pain, every pain. When you train, I want you to enjoy the training happily. And I do want to bring the longevity to your training life, because my own goal is to train until my 80s. I love lifting so much. I don't want to stop training in my 40s. That would be sad. That would be a sad story. I want to train in my 80s. So I want like I want longevity of my training life, and I hope you do. And in the end, I would like to definitely contribute to you to become a happier person. You don't want to train in pain, right? You want to enjoy your life. You want to enjoy your training. Since we are not professional lifters, they might have their own career. We choose to train because that's the choice of a life. So I have 2 choices. The first one would be the cheap program. yet very limited progress for my clients, just everyone else do. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the fact. But I have another choice that I will provide every single thing, although it's not perfect yet, but I'll provide every single thing I can for you and let you see the real progress, let you see the real result at a certain price. How much do you think it's going to be worth? I believe the real cost is actually inaction, not doing it, since there is opportunity here. And I don't think this is a cost, but it's an investment. I'm not saying the money-wise. Imagine that you are suffering pain, not in your 80s, in your 40s, 50s. You are suffering and you still want to train. I don't think that's a very healthy mental statement. You don't like that. I don't like it. No one wants to be in that status. Okay, so what you really need to do is register through the link in the chat box. You can reach us through emails or in the group chat, and our staff will here to answer all of your questions. So now you have two choices. You're gonna follow the program and get PR in 3 months, or you'll get the full refund. I guarantee you. Okay, you don't need to worry. If you follow our program, you see nothing happen to you. You see no pain is reducing. You see no PR. You see no progress. No reason. You can just come to me and ask for the refund. I'll give you all the money back because I failed in achieving what I was promised. Why don't you give it a try? I think the real problem is all about, do you want to improve or do you want to get rid of pain? Do you want it or not? Do you really want to train with progress, yet without suffering from the pain? So still, if you can click the link in the chat box and reach into us, this is the chance you're gonna have. Later, I'll still gonna share the info about how to train, how to get healthy body, how to get your training in a sustainable way with my Instagram. At the beginning, I shared a light technique with Olympic training the most, but gradually I found my passion. My passion is helping people to train while maintain a good healthy conditioning and reaching a good physical quality. That's it. And I do believe, compared to coach those pro athletes, since I'm in China, China is the strongest country with Olympic weighting. China doesn't need me. I think the ordinary people need me to helping them to getting better, not the top athlete. So I'll probably focus more on educating lifting fans, or teaching them how to lift heavier. Well, I hope you all learned something today, and I hope you can probably have a new mindset, have a new thinking towards your own training. If I made this, then successfully at making a small change. That's it. Thank you for your time today. Thank you. Have a good day. See you next time.